I am always so thankful for a pastor who has the backbone to stand in the pulpit and talk about the sin of abortion. I love it when I find a pastor like that, because he's not afraid to rock the boat. He's not afraid of controversy. He's not afraid of all the emails he's going to get that week telling him how he's wrong and that abortion is good. He knows the truth and he's speaking it, and so I'm always thankful for a pastor like that. But one of the things that happens when a pastor talks about the sin of abortion, he is condemning every person in his church that has ever had one, unless he follows it with, but we have this tool. If you have had an abortion, there's hope for you. We're not here to judge you and condemn you. We're here to love you and accept you and take you back to Jesus and let him heal this. So SaveOne is offering that tool to churches to give him that, to be able to follow up those sermons with the truth. But a lot of times churches will just avoid the subject altogether. And in a way, I get that a little, because for decades we have allowed this thing to be political. This is not a political issue. This is an issue that is clearly written about in God's Word, how we should sanctify life, how we should protect life, and how we should treat innocent life. And so this is a subject that is absolutely written about in God's Word, that Christians should be dealing with, that churches should be dealing with. If not us, then who is? We have had politics holding this in its pocket for over 40 years now. And it's time we take it back. This is our subject. We own this subject of life being created in His image. And so I don't know how the shift happened, but somehow they took it out of the church and placed it over here with politics, and that cannot continue to happen and us believe that we're going to have God's blessing, or that they're ever really going to do anything about it. We've had the right guy elected several times, and abortion is still here. I think God is waiting on the churches to rise up and say, this is our subject. But I think when the big shift happened and politics took over, it closed the mouths of some of the most powerful people in the world, and that's our pastors. Very few jobs, if any, that I know of, can a man stand in the pulpit and have hundreds of people following what he's saying, taking his advice, listening to him every single week, sometimes more than once, and they're doing what he says. And so when politics took over, they made the pastors believe they couldn't talk about it because it's a political issue now. You might get your nonprofit status taken away. We don't talk about politics in the church. It's like all of these reasons, and really that's just really not a good reason. This is legalized child killing. We can't stand for that anymore. I know abortion is not a subject that you enjoy talking about. It's not dinner conversation, but we are giving you the tool as the pastor to talk about this from the pulpit and not be political and not be controversial, but offer love and acceptance and not judgment and condemnation.